What do you think about Conor McGregor? He's making a lot of noise, talks a lot of trash. He's an Irish guy. What happened?
Yeah, he's fun to listen to and stuff like that. He does talk a lot of shit, but I think the fight 2 weeks later was the best MMA fight I've ever seen.
Which one was that one?
Condit, Lawler, yeah.
I thought that was a great fight. I kind of had to go. I didn't know which way. It was a split decision, which was a very close fight. We could have went either way. And I did talk about, I thought about maybe George. We haven't made a decision yet. So.
Who do you think won that fight, though? For you, your personal preference?
I had it going the other way.
To Condit.
Because he won 4 minutes of the last round and he lost the last minute. Even though the last minute was good for the other guy, I still favored him because I thought he won more of that round. So I kind of called that round even. So I had him winning by 1 point. Yeah, but it was but it was very hard. And I'm not a great scorer in MMA because I don't know. And they only went to the ground once, but they did box the whole time. It was fun to watch.
Freddie, why does Mayweather keep finding himself back and forth with MMA fighters, Ronda Rousey, not Conor McGregor? What's your take on that?
I really don't know. Maybe he likes Ronda. I don't know. I hope he likes Ronda better than the other guy. but I'm friends with MMA fighters also, but I like George St. Pierre is one of the best friends I have. He's a great guy. And
might make a comeback.
And maybe we'll talk about it. But the thing is, they have a lot of respect and so forth. Whenever an MMA fighter enters my ring, they bow and they respect it. And so forth. It's a lot different than my fighters because they don't do that shit. It's just a different culture.
Yeah.
Freddie, have you had a chance to talk to Manny about the Bradley fight and get his thoughts and kind of just discuss it a little bit before he gets here?
I tried to talk to him a little bit, and he told me that he said he'll make the decision when he came here to America, and that's the last time I had spoke to him on the phone. I have only just spoke to him on the phone for about a minute, and that was the first and last time since his last fight. So we don't talk on the phone too much. It's hard to reach him, and it's hard to reach me because we're always busy and working and so forth. So when Manny gets here, then we'll talk about the opponent and so forth. And the thing is, the only reason I think it's a good choice though is because of the surgery. Because we have to make sure that shoulder is 100% ready to go. And I think Manny with 2 hands is a hard guy to beat for anybody.
Were you surprised that he chose Tim?
No. On paper it is 1-1. Here we go.
Is there anything left to do with that fight? I mean, I think the only thing you guys can do that you haven't done is knock him out. I mean, is there anything else you're trying to do in the third fight?
Well, Manny fight, I'll tell you more at his press conference coming up pretty soon. And I just get off the phone with Aaron and he told me, you better make the New York end of this press conference. So I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I got to get the calendar out. And something's going to be pissed at me. I'm not sure which one.
What's the recent rumors of Chavez father, senior, expressing that he would like to see his son back with you? And is there anything there with Chavez Jr.? Is he coming back?
Not that I know of. His dad has asked me many times, and I respect his dad so much. I mean, he's a legend. I like him as a person. At this point in his life, he's a really nice guy, and he does want me to train his son. I think me and his son, we did have like 3 or 4 wins together that were really good wins, and I think we do well. We work well together, but that'll be up to him.
What's the latest with
Personally, he's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
He's my friend for sure.
Yeah.
And I do like him, yes. And his work ethic is great. So I would definitely say yes.
Yeah.
What's the latest with Viktor Postol? When could we see him back here or fighting?
The one guy who was supposed to fight got knocked out there, and then I heard that they're waiting to see who's the new mandatory or the new #1 guy out there and so forth. But I'm looking forward to Postol fighting soon, and I hope it happens because I do miss him. Like I tell him, he's my favorite Russian fighter, but I know he's from Ukraine.
Who do you want to see him fight?
The Crawford fight, a lot of fans are asking for
I
it.
love that.
What happens in that fight? How do you see that fight playing out?
Good fight. I mean, two young, up and coming guys. I mean, both have a lot of skills. I think that would be a great fight for both guys.
Would a win over Postol make Crawford as good as they say he is, or do you actually see him as good as they say he is at the moment?
The winner of that fight goes on, I think, the bigger and better things, and those who might have to think about, regrouping and so forth. But the thing is, it doesn't end either one's career because they're both great fighters, and there's no disgrace to losing to either one of them. So, but I would like to watch the fight. To be honest, I am a fight fan still, and I would like to see that fight.
If not Crawford, who do you want Postol to fight? Who would you like Postol to fight?
I really haven't thought about it that much, but Crawford's been the biggest threat lately, or the biggest noise and so forth. But there's a lot of good 140-pounders out there. A lot of the 40-pounders had gone to 47 actually, and maybe a less competitive division. But the thing with Postol is I wouldn't be afraid of anybody in the world with him because the way he fights, he boxes very smart. I mean, he doesn't take chances too much, and he boxes. He breaks you down, and then he doesn't knock you out or kill you until he knows you're ready to be taken out. He's very patient, and I love that about him. I mean, he showed that in the ring, also in the training, and he's a very intelligent fighter, and I like that. I like that in him.
Is Hank Lundy a suitable opponent for Crawford at this moment in his career? The level of position, Hank Lundy?
I'm not so sure.
He could fight better than that, don't you think? What's your take on him? Is there better opponents out there for him?
There are better opponents out there and so forth, but the thing is, I think they're trying to make him the next pay-per-view star out there. And the thing is, when you're trying to make somebody into a pay-per-view star, and he does very well and draws big crowds, and he's exciting to watch and so forth, you be a little bit careful of who you match him with. I mean, there is a science to matchmaking, and I think you need the best matchmakers to make those decisions to fight the right guy at the right time. Because then, I mean, if they could put him in over his head a little bit and he gets beat, and then no more pay-per-view guy.
If
pay-per-view, you almost have to be undefeated to be honest. So it seems lately.
If the fight with, say, Postol and Provodnikov gets offered, is that a fight you'd like? Is that a fight you'd take?
I have to say yes, because I think that's why he's left our camp, because he wanted to fight bigger and better names, and a lot of the bigger and better names in his division were my guys. So that would be a great fight. I mean, I love that as a fan, but I do think maybe Postol has a little more boxing ability, but Bruce, he's just such a big puncher, and he's a hard guy. It's not an easy win for either guy.
How do those sparring sessions go when they spar together here?
They didn't spar too much together. I never put them together too long. Just a couple rounds and warm up and stuff like that, because I would never put them in 6 rounds, something like that. It would be too competitive.
Are you actively looking for the next Manny Pacquiao? That his career is about to be done. Are you kind of always looking around to see who could be that next guy?
Well, I can answer that at the press conference later on, but to be honest with you, I'm never going to see another Manny Pacquiao in my lifetime or your lifetime, okay? To win 8 world titles, no one's ever going to achieve that, so there's no next Manny Pacquiao, I promise you. It's just nobody's going to achieve that ever again.
Is there anyone out of the Philippines now that you see that at least would be a good contender or a solid champion coming up right now? Anyone we should look out for?
Definitely, there's a lot of good fighters out there coming up, and offhand, I'm very, very, very bad with names, and I can't run them off here. But the thing is, there's a lot of good fighters out there, and I don't know. Can you make 154?
Come on.
So
Cabalega?
that's how best I respect him, and I actually we do have a deal, right? After you win this title, I'm going to get him his own mat.
Frankie? Guys, I'm going to grab him for one-on-one in 20 seconds, all right? Before it gets in there.
First the flags, next step's the mat.
And last question, Freddie. As far as Frankie Gomez, he has a fight set up. Is he back in? I mean, what can we expect from him this year?
We just had a pre-fight weigh-in, and he passed it. And he's within striking distance. So Frankie's back on track. Frankie is back. And I do think he's still the best prospect, maybe in the world today. When he wants to fight, he can really fight. I like how he's really mean in the ring. I love that about him, and he he don't care what you say to him or like what you talk about him. I said, Frank, doesn't that bother you? And stuff like that. He says, no. And so he's very calm and stuff like this. He says, I'll get him in the ring, don't worry. So I love Frank. I love Frank. I think he's a great prospect, and I think he's my best prospect.
Is Canelo?
Right now, but the thing is, he's this next. By the end of this year, he will be world champion, I predict.
Is he ready to face those big names even now? If you give him the chance, Freddie, is he that good?
Bring Amir Khan and all those guys on right now. Yeah, Amir doesn't want to fight anybody, so it seems he won't fight Kell Brook. I know Kell Brook's a good fighter, so I actually think Amir could outbox him, but why did he pull out the fight? I don't know.
How has he looked to you since you guys parted ways? How has Amir looked to you?
Well, his new trainer has taught him, instead of getting in and out of the pocket quickly like I tried to get him to do, and instead he stays in the pocket and he holds. And you watch his fights now; they're much more boring fights than they used to be. But I don't really believe in that strategy so much. To like land punches and then grab a guy and hold him, it slows the fight down and so forth. But I think he would be better off with the in and out, which I was trying to do. But again, I was unsuccessful because he was staying in the pocket too long, and he stayed in the pocket too long and he got knocked out. And this happened once before I trained him, once while I was training him. So it's bad habit he has.
Do you guys wish things would have ended better between you guys and had not such a rough parting?
Well, they talked a lot and stuff like that, but there's a lot of foolish stuff like, they left me because I have Parkinson's and so forth. I said, well, it never came up before, and then, if you fire Manny Pacquiao, then it made me number one, I'll stay with you. I says, well, that's not going to happen.
He might be holding out for a bout with Kell Brook. No one's really mentioning Kell Brook, but he seems to be one of the top welterweights in the division. And
he's a good name. I haven't seen him yet, but I've read a lot about him. He's supposed to be a very good puncher, very dangerous guy. He looks like a very good prospect. Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing him in a Amir fight, but then I hear that's off now. But we'll see.
How do you see Thurman and Porter going?
That's a good fight. I think I like Thurman a little bit, even though Sean Porter is a very good friend of mine, and was a good friend of mine through sparring with Manny a lot of years and stuff like that. But that might be a toss-up, that fight. It might go either way, but I think the other guys don't win. It's a competitive fight. It's good. It's one of those fights that needs to be made. It's a very good fight. Two guys, I think, at the same level, and it should be a great one.
Can Keith Thurman be that guy that takes over 147 Friday? A lot of people putting a lot of stock into him.
There are, he could be the one, but the thing is, 47 is always a very, very difficult division, of course, and a lot of talent there. So, you do have a lot of guys coming up, some good punchers also. We'll see.
Well, thank you, Freddie. Always appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, guys.
Freddie, can I get a quick one-on-one before you go?